The past few days have been a frenzy of backlash from both fans and critics of No Man's Sky. Now, I know you may be sick of me talking about this, but this is something that I want to stress and drive home, because honestly, I just have more opinions on this, so you're gonna have to deal with it, because one of the most anticipated indie games of all time has seemingly fallen short of the grandiose expectations set forth by the consumer and developer. We have to ask the question though, who is at fault for that? Now, on the surface, it may seem like No Man's Sky is a shallow experience. You know, players move from generated planet to generated planet, discover a variety of locations, animals, and resources, but the problem is after a few hours you start to notice similarities in how planets are formed, what buildings look like, and the resources that you even come across. You can spend your entire time on 1 or 2 planets in this game and still have a very similar experience as someone who visits thousands. This, along with the very poorly created port of the PC version of the game, has customers vilifying the developer Hello Games for promoting a product with supposedly infinite content. Now, to make it totally and perfectly clear right now, the port issues on the PC version are entirely the developer's fault, and there's really no getting around that. Complaints about the game being a shallow experience, though, may actually be attributed to consumer expectations, though. The community for No Man's Sky became a rabid fan base over the past year. Any video that was created which criticized the game or developer promises would be met with a community jumping in to defend it on the promise that the game would be an infinite experience. Oh, check it out, I even got my own examples of this from my videos. Listen to the doubt, that's not a trailer, bro, that trailer is the game, dummy. Sean literally flew to a planet to record the trailer, retard. Yes, No Man's Sky will live up to the hype because unlike, say, Fallout 4, the hype that was based on nothing, the hype for this game is based on gameplay videos and lots of explanations of features. Personally, I think you're wrong. A small indie group can't afford to lie about their games. That one is actually hilarious. It's in the maths. As long as the maths is good, then the game will be good. Alright, and honestly, this one you can just pause the video and read it because I'm not reading this entire thing out loud. The community for No Man's Sky became rabid about the idea of a game with infinite content, something that promised the world and could rid the entire gaming industry of greed tactics from publishers and developers in the past, and Hello Games ran with that. Now, I can't blame the developer for that because when your game receives such a huge amount of media attention and garners a huge amount of intrigue and love from people who haven't even played the game, you're pretty much entitled to capitalize on that. However, it's a shame that Hello Games didn't step in when the situation started getting out of control. All in all, I actually believe No Man's Sky was marketed fairly close to what the actual game is about. In fact, if you go back and look at the famous E3 2014 footage, most of the features in the game are already present in that footage, and that leads into the big problem being that most of the game features were already present. So aside from meeting aliens and finding a few specific locations on planets, this actually covers almost all of what you'll be doing in No Man's Sky. You'll need to find resources, walk around, see animals, fly away in your ship, see some spaceships floating about, and decide if you want to destroy them or not. Seriously, this trailer is the actual game. The huge issue that arises is that fans decided that the game they wanted featured more than was being shown by Hello Games at the time, and this is largely due to the idea of infinite procedural generation. Now, procedural generation doesn't mean that everything will look and be different all the time, it just means that it won't be exactly the same. Now, throughout my hours playing No Man's Sky, I've already seen multiple alien species and planets that could be easily confused for one another, if not for the naming system in the game, but they are still different in some way thanks to this procedural generation. Different in the same aspect that a rock on Earth and a rock on Mars are different. This evidence was actually completely present in all the footage released by Hello Games, but fans decided that there was more to see, which leads into this backlash of content that's being thrown about, and various threads and feedback to Hello Games is that they were lied to. If anything though, Hello Games lied by omission and lack of clarification. Now, is that the right thing to do? Not really, considering the fire that critics of the game received even before release due to expressing concerns, death threats being thrown about, and the like. However, in retrospect to what was presented by the developer, all the pieces of the puzzle for No Man's Sky were right there in front of everyone who wanted to see the game be amazing, but they didn't want to believe it. So what do you think about this entire situation? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. Just be respectful, as always. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. I would be super appreciative. If you didn't like it, that's fine. Give it a dislike. That's okay. Won't hate you forever. IAmPattyJack. Have a wonderful day.
Some might say that I'm a loner, but I just call it being free. I am my heart's only